Welcome, welcome, welcome. Can I get a sound confirmation, please? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me loud and clear? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Welcome, Cherry. Low key. Hello, Kalanda. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Aries, the Emperor here. We are going to do just a quick energy check because I was supposed to go live Saturday, um, and I forgot. I got caught up in working and connecting with you guys. So I know I still owed you guys a live. So here we are. Okay. If you'd like to connect with me, all of my information is in the description box located down below. And also, I'd like to say I am working to get readings out to you guys as well as candle orders. I am one of the cities that is snowed in. So our local post office UPS right now uh, is still down as far as I know. So as soon, welcome from Norway. As soon as things are getting back per usual, back steady, then I'll be able to get candle and soap orders out to you guys. And also, there was a bit of confusion. Neptune did enter into Aries on yesterday, so I am doing a read, a Neptune and Aries reading tailored specifically to your guys's charts, your natal charts. All right, it is not listed on my website. You will have to email me, all right, to book the Neptune in Aries reading. Okay. I've had a few people who are confused um, as far as the process. Okay. Email me if you are wanting to book the Neptune and Aries reading. All right. So that we can discuss how this is going to specifically affect you for the next 14 years, give or take. All right, this is a very important transit and something that can affect your love life, your career, especially you as an individual. So email me, okay? Email me. Do not send payment and not email me because I need to know the two have to line up and I need to know who is sending me what before we can go forward. And also, I am going to need your date of birth, okay? Month, day, and year. I'm going to need the city and state of your birth as well as the time of birth, exact time, AM or PM is really what I need. Okay. So just to let you guys know beforehand, before you reach out, so there's no confusion. And thanks to Sade. If I do, then if I can't find y'all, then I'm gonna post it on the community section. But shouts out to Sade. She saw the message and reached out. All right. So how's everybody doing? And thank you guys for those of you who have been voting for me for the Maxim Cover Girl contest. Thank you guys. Just another day or so, and they will announce who moves on. I believe maybe to the final round or the next round. I think it's the top 15 will advance. It is free to vote for me. And I will post the link again if you guys would like to vote. It's not required, but greatly appreciated. And I just want to say thank you guys for your support through everything. Just if you are just a subscriber here, um, if you've liked, subscribed, thank you guys, for all of your support. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. If I did, it'll come back up to me, but you guys read the title. Aries. Oh my God, curiosity when it comes to you. You are the one that people whisper about, it's like not too loud. They'll be damned if they want you to hear what they're saying or it get back to you. But somehow you already be knowing. It don't have to get back to you. You know what I'm saying? You are an empath, you are intuitive. Um, you're a healer yourself, and people just they don't understand how that works, and in that it's not all about running your mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's about you like I said, observing and you taking things in. That tells you everything that you need to know. All right, so we're gonna jump into this read and see what messages come out. All right, it's giving your energy gives an eyebrow raise. You know what I mean? You know how The Rock used to do the people's eyebrow? Like, you give that, like, people are like, "You talking about Aries? You talking about that Aries?" Eh, it gives suspicion. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but let's get into this reading and find out. Why is Aries? Why is why are people whispering about Aries? No, we're not gonna use this deck. I hope everyone is doing well. When I say I am over the snow, I don't see how y'all do it in states that live. The snow is pretty for a little bit, but honey, I don't like this. I'm a spring baby. I don't ever see myself living anywhere that does this on a regular basis. Like, no, do not sign me up. Like, it's well, what, January? I think the snow is about a month late. This was supposed to happen during Christmas. It's like whatever was left over, they came and dumped it. They dumped it in our city. They need to come back and get it. All right, messages for Aries spirit. This is giving, like, it's not giving prom king, prom queen type of energy here. That gives like that goody two shoes type of energy, Aries. You give that undisputed, that underground, that best kept secret type of energy, that world renowned type energy here. It's just like Elvis when he used to perform and he would do like the hip thrusts on camera, and they banned him. They would ban him from doing that. They would threaten to put him in prison or take him to jail if he did that on stage. You know what I'm saying? They would say it was the devil. And it's that energy where you're on stage, and you doing your thing, and then they're in the background in the audio room, like, cut to commercial, cut, get that out of here. You're that energy that has whoever that is hollering, cut to commercial. That karmic energy, honey, they not ready for it. They're not ready for your hip thrusts. Let me just say that. But you introducing, you are the one to introduce something new. And I love it. You got to be shocking. There's got to be some type of shock value to move us forward. You know what I'm saying? And that prom king, prom queen energy is not, we used to seeing that. You know what I'm saying? That, we're used to that. We want something different. We want something new. There's nothing shocking about that. Mr. and Miss Popularity, you know what I'm saying? And no offense, to all my prom kings and all my prom queens out there. Hell, you could have won because you were different. You know what I'm saying? You did bring that shock value. I've seen that happen before, where you have schools or organizations that they ready for a change and they don't choose, you know what I'm saying, what everybody's used to. All right, we have nurturing. I feel like people want to know what it's like to be under your wing. There's a curiosity, like, even if you don't see yourself as a mentor, you have people, there are certain things that I feel like you may be good at, or certain things that people wish that they could embody from you or gain from you or learn from you. And their curiosity, they may watch you, when you're not paying attention. People love doing that. They love doing that. That's why you think nobody's paying you any mind. They really are paying you mind. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they're just really good um at you not realizing it. That's why when you may be somewhere just minding your business and this random person pops up in your mind that you haven't spoke to in forever, and it may feel like they're tugging on your energy and you can't figure out why. It's because they're either looking you up, they're either thinking about you, they're either tapping into something that you do, and that they have siphoned from you, whether you know it or not. But like I said, there's something very wise about you, and that, piques everybody's curiosity. Everyone is curious about something in life. I don't care what it has to do with. You're going to be curious about something that interests, whatever it is that interests you personally. You know what I'm saying here? And you are that being, you know what I mean? You are that sign. I feel like that's going to open up for a lot of you guys more. Your people are as you come out of your shell more, because this is a time where you're going to be leading more than ever by example. Um, and there are going to be sides of you that you probably have never explored, didn't know was deep down inside of you, and they're going to bubble up. you know they're going to come up for you, and this could be good things or this could be bad things. You know what I'm saying? And not everybody is going to be affected the same way, because everybody's genetic makeup and everybody's makeup, their natal chart makeup, is different. So you cannot compare yourself to your neighbor, your Aries neighbor, or anybody for that matter. You always have to compare to the self, right? You rule over self, especially to all my Aries sun out here. So we have exhausted. I feel like people are curious, like, what do you do to keep you going? You know what I mean? I'm getting, like, with most fire signs, coffee, baby, you are the coffee. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a lot of things. Like, your energy is natural, your high is natural, and I feel like people are really curious about that. If they could put your high in a bottle and sell it, people would purchase it. you know, you seem like somebody who is the strong friend. You might be tired of being the strong friend, but and secretly you may be wishing that somebody would step up and baby you, or give you a break from being the strong friend and type energy. Here is what I'm getting from someone, but you come through very strongly as that. And I feel like people are curious. People, honestly, people want to be that. Yeah, they see how you do it and it looks easy, but honestly, if they were really to walk a mile in your shoes, they would be fucking exhausted. You know what I mean? Literally, like the card says, this is how you have people feeling like, how the fuck does Aries do it? And sometimes you probably ask yourself that. But that's qualities of people with millionaire mindsets. That's qualities of people who change the world. Like I said, this is gonna be an energy. I think I put it in a short yesterday, where you're not a moment, you're a movement. And that is leading the people, not just one. That's not a 15 minutes of anything. It's not a 15 seconds of anything. You know how they be like 15 minutes of fame, 15 seconds of fame. It ain't none of that. It's a movement. Okay, we are pushing something forward, like that man walked on the moon. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind type energy is what you're putting out there. And yeah, the work is exhausting. Trust me, I know. You know what I'm saying? But somebody got to do it. And it's already in a lot of you all. You know what I'm saying? So let's see here. We got waves. I love that water energy. And just like we've been talking, water. I think I mentioned it in the read yesterday. Yeah, it has to do with emotions, but it just depends on how you weather that tide. You know what I'm saying here? And water can be calm and can, relax you. And at the same time, shit, it can put you in a state of fear. You know what I'm saying? And people are curious because you may seem like somebody that even in the wake of the most dangerous moments, you still don't panic, you still don't shake, you still don't run, you don't bend, you don't break, you don't fold, and people really want to be fearless like that. They really want to be able to be that one, that people look at as a hero, or not just a hero, as somebody that's just brave. You know what I mean? And somebody that has the answers, even if you know you don't have all of the answers, because none of us have all of the answers. You know what I mean? But you have all of these things that people that surround you, they create controversy. These are things that make you notorious. um, wow. Aries. All right, we have antisocial. You do a lot by yourself. That's that Pisces energy as well, isolation. You don't mind being felt like you left out. You know a lot of times you're not being left out of anything. But like I said, people are curious about what you got going on. So how can you feel like you're being left out of something? You know what I'm saying here? And the silent treatment, if people think that they're going to give you any type of silent treatment, after the first day, then they see that you still haven't reached out, honey, they whispering. And they, like I said, they're trying not to be too loud because they want to prove a point. Like, you're somebody that people feel like if they got to prove a point to somebody, it's you. You know what I mean? You're the big dog in the room. You're the one that they need to try and compete with. You're the one that they need to try and get the attention of, type energy here. You're the one that they study, right? You're the one that they want to get a rise out of. They're passive, never direct, because they know you coming like a train, choo choo, like full steam ahead towards their ass. If you pick up on anything, and that's like I said, if they brave enough to come at you with it direct, but most people are not, and then on top of that, they got to go and get a whole gang or crew of people to back them because they scary. You would be scared of somebody who don't mind standing alone. It's one against 50 motherfuckers, and you still standing there like, what? What's up? You know what I mean? And they curious, like, what does that person have behind them? It's 50 of us, and it's one of them. You know what I mean? You must got some heavy artillery, or you must got something big behind you. And you right. It's one strong motherfucker like you against 50 weak-minded motherfuckers like them. They one plan. You mean to tell me you had time to go round up 50 people against one? Oh, you deserve to get your ass kicked. You and every last one of them. I almost said, I look, let me watch what I say. Because I be forgetting. Like I said, they are censoring so many things, so many words on these platforms. You know what I mean? And just it feels like highway robbery, the way they are trying to change the rules and switch up, and the greed is real. Whew, the greed is real. But guess what? This is America. Let's get into this read. People want your opinion. You don't give out enough. Is was what how I feel people really feel about you, Aries. You don't give enough. And that's for good reason. That continues to keep the curiosity surrounding you. Don't you ever give them everything, because once you give them everything, then you have nothing at all, right? And I'm saying that to every last one of y'all in whatever it is that you do. Don't you never give them every damn thing. It's always something that you keep to yourself, and that's the most valuable parts, because they don't have no fucking business putting their hands on it anyways. It was given to you. It was created by you. You make it valuable. And that's the way it's going to be. All right, messages for Aries spirit. What is surrounding Aries? Curiosity. What's that? Curiosity killed the cat. Satisfaction brought him back. All right, we have the Three of Wands. Sag energy. The number 3 could be significant. You could have Sagittarius aspected in your natal chart, or this person. Like I said, people watch you from afar. They don't want to get too close. They don't want to be made. But they keep note for sure. People take what you say, they take it serious. And I feel like secrets, people trust you, and they don't understand why they trust you. That's a spiritual thing. People can feel that on you. And like I said, you're somebody Aries will give to you, but Aries likes their space. You know what I mean? Aries likes their isolation and alone time. Um and people, they get upset. I feel like not well, some people could get upset for real, but that's when they want to push in. They feel like you're hiding something, or um they take it personal. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that's when people want to try and push themselves into your space. You know what I mean? And that sparks curiosity more than everything. Hell, you may not even be really doing anything, but just trying to recharge, just wanting to do something that satisfies your soul for the day. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Aries, it's important for you to at least have that meditation, whether it's something early in the morning that you do before you start your day and you have to deal with a lot of different people. Um, because I feel like if you don't get that, that kind of fucks your day up, right? Especially like I said, if you have to already deal with a lot of different energies as it is. So it's important, either the beginning of your day, the middle of your day, the end of your day, so that you have time to process things. Because when you're in a conversation, you can respond like that. When you walk in the room, your response, it could be 10 people in that room. You already got your responses ready. You done already checked this person out, read this person. You already have everything mapped out, and people's clocks are still catching up. They still ticking. And like I said, like your energy, that it may start to come to now that we've had this shift. You may start looking at people like idiots. And that's not to hurt anybody's feelings, but that's just how fast your brain works. And don't let Gemini, be in there, especially like your Mercury in Gemini or Aquarius, or a part of your big three. You really gonna compute, calculate, and be ready to slay the entire room. You know what I mean? So it's just something that And also with people trying to push into you, into your personal space, you gotta click on them, cuss them out. You know what I'm saying? Tell them to get the fuck out your face. And that just is it's a natural response, because you need that energy to yourself, and that's something that only you understand. And that, again, like I said, is a part of that curiosity. Like, people want to figure out how you tick, how you operate, why are you like this. Because Sagittarius energy alone is somebody, like, they can't be contained. You know what I mean? They need that sort of freedom. Um, Whether that's physically being able to travel somewhere, or mentally in their brain needing to check out and travel somewhere to a happy space, and then, all right, I'm back in. What's up? Type energy. Because people know, that adds to your character. It adds to your creativity. It adds to your dreams. It helps you in healing. And especially Sagittarius, they say Sagittarius can have really, really highs, and really, really lows, really bad lows, but it just depends. It is a sign that, for the most part, is optimistic, in the troubles, especially that they deal with. All right, we got the Seven of Swords. There's that Aquarius energy here. You don't let people get away with things, and and people are curious to see if they are the ones that can come in and get away with it because of your reputation, because of what they've heard. You know what I mean? So these are the people that come in with the competition, and they on that mental ish to see if they can trip you up, or if you'll even notice before they've taken this, or before they've left the room, type energy here. But hey, like I said, you've already if you let somebody get away with, 9 times out of 10, you've already seen that person for who they are. And if they do what they do, you're the one that's letting them get away with what they're getting away with. You know how karma works. You know what I mean? So whoever tries to come in and play you is only playing themselves. But, like I said, curiosity killed the cat. You know what I'm saying? And satisfaction brought them back. Right. So whoever thinks they taking you out, with their curiosity, once they try it, that's it for them. That's over, and there's no more getting close to you after that. So they really have ruined it for themselves, and they really not as smart as they think they are. You know what I'm saying? And you really put them right back in their place. And on top of that, God been done spanked their ass in the process. You know what I'm saying? So everything they put their hands on after that is useless. So after that, you really have people trying to circle back around and stalk you, and figure out, how did you do that? And now they feel stupid, and now they want to lick back when they're the ones that started it, but they didn't expect you to come in and finish shit the way that you did. You know what I'm saying here? But like I said, these are the ways that you are about to start to open up. And like I said, it just depends on how your makeup is, and natal chart wise, and how your shifts, and how this is going to affect you, because it's definitely not just affecting you, it's affecting those who are around you, whether they real or not. This is a part of exposing what's going to come to the forefront. We all finna be sitting here looking like, damn, was that what that was about? You know what I'm saying? And I'm here for it. Plot twist, I'm here for it. All right, we have the Empress. This is Taurus energy. The moon is currently in Taurus. It's going to move into Gemini here later. And this was Aquarius, the Seven of Swords that came out, which the sun is in Aquarius. Shout out to all of the Aquarius. If you're Aquarius here, you're watching, happy solar return. And to all of you guys who are celebrating special Aquarius is in your life, happy solar return to them as well. We have the Hermit, Virgo energy, to come out as well. So, like I said, you have a lot of right-brained individuals who are curious about you. I like to look at Aries as a left-brain individual. It's that boss energy, but it's unorthodox boss energy. It's like I said, you didn't take a straight path to get to where your to get to your success. You know what I'm saying? Or to you didn't learn what you learned the way that everybody else maybe followed the leader and learned type energy here. And that's what makes people even more curious about you because they may not see everything that they have on you, but they look at you and they see that and more. They see that and beyond. And that alone is right-brained people. They want to study you. You know what I mean? Like they want to put you in a lab with their notebook and they're behind a glass. It type shit is what I'm visualizing right now. Have you ever seen like in a movie? Like, that's what it's giving here. Like you give that type of energy. Like they want your brain after you pass on because like football players with CTE and stuff like that, like Aries, and you give that type of energy here. And then look at the Empress wearing the crown. It's protective. You know what I mean? Protecting her third eye, protecting, and it accounts for every month in the year, for all 12 months, all 12 houses, and you pass through every 12 house as the fool in the tarot deck, starting as number 0. You know what I mean? Sometimes it starts as number 1, sometimes it starts at number 0, but that's what the fool does because you're first, and self has to experience all of these different houses and things. You know what I'm saying? And with the hermit, you know what I mean? They want to know, how did you get here? How did you break the bad habit? What time do you get up in the morning to do something like that? What time do you go to bed? You know what I mean? What do you eat for breakfast or dinner or lunch? What do you consume and who do you talk to? Who's your lineage? Where's your background? It's all types of questions like that. I feel like people are curious and that they really have for you. You would be surprised. You would probably be like, get the fuck out of my face. Like I said, at the end of the day, if they really had an opportunity, if they could like make you forget everything so they can come in and ransack and do whatever they need to do to figure out and take from you what they need to take, like the 7 of Swords out here. But you still in this Empress energy. You're still the one that's attracting all of this curiosity and this fame around you. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, because that's what it is. You famous in your own right. And you somebody that don't even want to be fucking bothered with the hermit. You somewhere wanting to just venture off on your spiritual journey and carry on. You know what I mean? You happy with the simple things, with the small things. And you got people who, I mean, that makes them even more curious because they're like, there's got to be more to that. There's no way that they're just so Aries is just so and so. Like there's got to be something here or there's something behind them or something, like it's like the way people think, man, oh man. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. What's understood ain't gotta be explained. Shit, if you didn't get the memo, you just didn't get the Aries memo. It ain't the 6 of Cups. And people wonder, like, how do you choose your friend circles? How do you choose the people that you want in your life? You know what I mean? How do you go about just putting people out of your life or separating yourself, forgiving people, and this could be people who have witnessed, you being in bad relationships, or come from certain backgrounds, or this could even be people who know you or know of you, and then they know of other people who have tried to play you. You know what I mean? Or who talk shit about you. But like I said, there's a curiosity surrounding you. So this could be groups of people who have town hall meetings about you and you don't have a clue. You know what I'm saying? But they know you, and these may be people who are not all biased against you. You know what I mean here? But just to know that when they cross paths with you, oh, this is who they be talking about. It piques their curiosity. You know what I'm saying? You have people who talk shit about you and they try and make people stay away from you whole time. They don't know that they're doing the opposite and they're attracting more and more attention. And like I said, uh they're attracting more and more people here to you, the Fool. And like I said, I'm glad this came up. Thank you, Spirit. You see the Fool? It's number 0. All right, because you start the journey and you off that cliff is your first damn lesson. People want to know, how did you survive this, Aries? You know what I mean? And you got a follower, you got a dog behind you, just as loyal, finna walk off that cliff with you. People want to know. People will look at the fool as brainless, as the scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz. You know what I'm saying here? But still, that you still come off on top type energy here. I don't care how you start off. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And Aries, you always gonna finish strong. And they want to know, how. Damn it, how? I'm gonna leave this read here, y'all. Spiritually, how? That's how. All right, because you connected. That's how. People want to know, how are you this connected? Ugh, ugh. What y'all say? What we just say? What's understood ain't gotta be explained. All right. I love you guys. I got work to do. Like I said, email me if you have any questions. Okay. Before you do anything, if you're gonna book a personal reading, if you're gonna book the Neptune and Aries reading, if you have any questions, email me. Aries Love Tarot 11 at gmail.com. Boom. I love you guys. I'll catch you later. Ciao.